Thank you for being here today, and I'm glad to do this follow-up video on perspective. In the last video, I stressed the fact that your perspective on any subject in life determines who you become and what you do in relation to the subject matter. Because your perspective is that which gives you the energy to pursue and to act. So if your perspective is right, it gives you the energy to act right. If your perspective is wrong, it gives you the energy as well to act in the wrong way. And more importantly, if your perspective creates in you fear, creates in you doubt, creates in you and weakens your understanding and your mind, then you lack the courage to act in the right way. Now let's look at the crisis the whole world is faced with, which has been on for a while now. That when this matter initially broke out, nobody had a right perspective of it. Perhaps people were looking at it in the light of what has happened in the past, before it became clear that this is different. And so the approach of how we dealt with it in the past is not the same approach we are going to take in dealing with it now. And so because things were not clear, the responses also were not clear. So where there is uncertainty, there cannot be a clear response until we are able to ascertain what is going on and what can we do before we can fashion out a clear response. And so in the situation we are in today, there is no doubt that some people have lost their job before now. Some will still lose their jobs, even in the crisis and after the crisis, due to several factors. Some businesses have closed down, and some will still close down due to several factors. And one of those factors are the issues of sustainability. Can the business still sustain themselves? And if businesses cannot sustain themselves, they will have to let go of their staff. So they thought of, what will I do if I lose my job? Could lead to fear. It could create serious anxiety, particularly when you consider what is at stake without an income. How will I feed my family? What will I do with my life? These things are real. And I want you to know that even though we're in time of uncertainty, uncertainty does not mean destruction. Uncertainty means we cannot define a clear response. But that does not mean there cannot be options. So we have to fashion out options of responses. And so, even in this time of uncertainties, there are good news. And the good news that I have for you is this. One, that in every bad situation, there are some good things. In every bad situation, it's not everything that is bad. There are still some good things that happens. Some good things still happen to some people. Number two, opportunities are always shrouded by difficulties. So you may see opportunity, but how do you get it? To get the opportunities, you might face quite a lot of difficulties. So it does not mean that you cannot get it, but you have to be prepared for the difficulties that you might have to go through. And number three is that all is not lost. You can start from where you are with what you have. You can develop a clear path to where you are going from this point, like where you are. Now let me explain this with some bit of illustration. Do you know what it takes to mine gold or to drill a liter of crude oil? When you look at the effort, the skills and resources that are committed into these things, you will realize that good things of life are not cheap. The commissioning of an exploration of minerals does not guarantee that there is enough deposit to warrant the huge resources that are deployed to such a venture. However, explorers don't stop. The fact that they have not succeeded in one place does not mean they will stop. They keep trying. It's a time of uncertainty for them, but they are not stopping. They keep building fresh approaches, new approaches. And so I want to ask you, dear listener, in this moment, in this period, what is the uncertainty in your life? What is the uncertainty in your life? Is it education? Is it employment? Is it business? Is it relationship? Is it marriage? Is it your health? All is not lost. There is still hope. Because uncertain times requires a man to think out of the box. Because during the period of uncertainty, there is nothing normal. So you cannot think or reason as in times past, in the time of safety, and think you get the same result. You have to think differently. So my challenge to you is to start thinking differently. Join me in the next video. Thank you.